कर्नाटक में नफरत की बाजार बंद हुई है, मोहब्बत की दुकानें खुली हैं।
Okay, I'm back in the national capital of Delhi, and that's where the action has been shifted in the last few days about Kaun Banega Mukhyamantri in Karnataka, done and dusted. But first of all, before I go ahead, I really want to thank all of you very, very much. It's our 50th episode, and thank you so much for your overwhelming response and also the feedback I keep getting on the social media timeline. And in fact, do give us your response, your feedback, and even suggestions on what is it that you want me to discuss on One Take. Okay, now moving ahead, what is it that has been learned as far as the choice of the Chief Minister in Karnataka is concerned? There are a couple of questions which I'm asking here on One Take this week, and that is, does it show a weakness of the High Command? Does it show a power struggle between the state and the centre? And at the end of the day, who wins and who loses? Let's just step back. I still remember when YSR Rajashekar Reddy, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, the late Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, and certainly one of the most powerful faces of the Congress party, died in unfortunate circumstances when his plane crashed. Sonia Gandhi actually wept. She was at the Congress headquarters where she gave a sound bite. And after that, the Congress party just did not know what to do in Andhra Pradesh. Completely out of sync, out of control, and they started experimenting with the chief ministers who would replace him. And the result was that the party substantially weakened. In fact, when his son Jagan Mohan Reddy staked claim to become the CM, wanted to meet Mrs. Gandhi, nothing came out of the meeting. What was the takeaway from this disaster which happened in Andhra Pradesh, apart from the fact that it's a state that Congress party has been virtually wiped out in? The feedback and the lesson that they learnt is never allow any one person to become so powerful that they can dictate the political landscape of the state that they belong to. And after that, whenever there have been experiments, whenever the Congress party has won in the state level, one thing the Congress has tried to ensure, or the High Command as they are called, tried to ensure that they have control over the chief ministers or over state politics. Often it has boomeranged, because what has happened is that they have usually ended up in a tussle with some of the powerful chief ministers. Whether we are talking about Captain Amrinder Singh in Punjab, iron control, he called the shots. We are seeing what is happening in Rajasthan, where Ashok Gehlot openly at times takes on the High Command. I mean, if you remember that CLP meeting which was called on September 25th last year, which many thought would mean a change of guard, which didn't happen. And after that, when there was a meeting which was held between Mrs. Gandhi and Ashok Gehlot, he actually took a file in his hand in which he had made a list of all his grievances against Sachin and instances where Pilot was actually hobnobbing with the BJP, trying to topple his government. I think that lesson was learned by the Congress top leadership once again, that you don't mess around with senior as leaders and the veterans. You cannot control the narrative in elections like this. Similarly, in Chhattisgarh, frankly speaking, it was a little different, because among the four contenders, Bhupesh Baghel emerged as the chief minister because he had a complete backing. But there was also a hidden understanding that T.S. Singh perhaps would, after 2.5 years, become the chief minister, which didn't really happen. But that is because in his tenure, Bhupesh Baghel ensured that he had an iron grip on the state, and he won the MLAs over to his side. So therefore, Baghel continues, and the Congress top leadership did not have a problem too much, because the Baghel would always placate the Gandhis, be in touch with them, and also become one of their troubleshooters. So that sense, Baghel understood that the best way to stay in power is to keep the Gandhis smiling, or the top leadership smiling. Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot was made of a different metal altogether, and there he decided that there are opportunities which I'm going to seize to make the point that I do want to take on the Gandhis or the top leadership, because I am the boss. I am the one who has ensured that the party remains in power and it's stable. And in fact, he uses this narrative that Sachin hobnobbed with the BJP, tried to topple him, but he saved the party and the government for the sake of the top leadership. And thereby lies his power. So what did he do was, very shrewdly and smartly, placate the Gandhis on one hand and the top leadership, but on the other hand, assert his importance. In Himachal Pradesh, when many thought that Pratibha Singh would become the chief minister because she said this openly that I have every right to become the CM, Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu was made the chief minister. You know, he was from the Youth Congress, he's younger, he was again the state Congress chief and someone the Gandhis personally liked, particularly Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. And therefore, it was seen as a recognition of someone from a humble background who rose from the ranks, from the grassroots of the party and became the chief minister. Many applauded the Gandhis for this. In Karnataka, also pretty much the same thing when DK Shivakumar was seen as a troubleshooter, Siddharamaiah as a old warhorse. I'm moving away from all these issues about how the CM was made and why the CM was made to the larger question that each time the Congress has chosen a chief minister, who has it weakened and who has it strengthened? Well, in an ideal situation, it's the MLAs who should decide. That's what every political party says, but since I'm talking about the Congress, that's exactly what the Congress party says, that we are letting the MLAs decide. So the usual protocol is followed. A CLP meeting is called, which is a Congress Legislative Party meeting. The MLAs pass a one-line resolution that the High Command decides or the Congress President will decide. And then the MLAs are called one by one. They give their feedback, either by way of written word or, verbally and so on and so forth. And then, obviously observers are sent. The observers go back to give their report to Delhi and the scene shifts to Delhi and then an announcement is either made from the state level or in the national capital or the AICC headquarters and so on and so forth. That's how it's done. But it's not so simple as it looks. Behind this, there is a deep power struggle. Not just in the state where there may be more than one contenders for a top job, but actually at the center. And that power struggle is between the state leaders and the Congress leaders. I began by giving an example of YSR Rajashekar Reddy because after that the Congress party realized we cannot allow any one chief minister to become too powerful, which is why it explained how in Punjab, for example, the power struggle began between the central leadership and the captain because the information and feedback which was being given over here was the captain was getting too big for his boots. वो हमारी सुनता ही नहीं है. He doesn't even listen to high command, and that's where the palace intrigue began, backroom negotiations began. Rest is history. Charanjit Singh Chandy became the CM. Navjot Singh Sidhu was handpicked as the state Congress chief. Complete disaster in Punjab. And then you saw the Rajasthan story, which I just talked about. Very clear message from Ashok Gehlot: you cannot mess around with me. I will listen to you. I'll be loyal, but at the end of the day, I call the shots. So, believe it or not, it's a kind of a coexistence. Both the sides are trying to make their point. So what is it that the Congress leadership is doing? They're trying to do a balancing act. On one hand, maintain this facade of a democracy at work, that is the MLAs who've decided, we haven't decided, but by shifting the focus to Delhi, leaving the final decision to the High Command, the message is very clear. You are there because we are here. You have been made the CM, even if you have the MLA support, because we decided and agreed with you that you have this MLA support. And therefore, your power comes from us. That's the power struggle. I guess it's true of most political parties, but in the Congress party, which is seen to be weak at the center but getting its mojo back, the Congress party, which is at crossroads because it really has to do well in the next Lok Sabha elections. There are critical state elections like Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh coming up, and one doesn't know what the picture is going to be there. But most importantly, it is important for the Gandhis to show that they still call the shots, even though they hold no post. But in the midst of all this, a relatively new Congress president also wants to set out a message that I decide. It is me who takes the final call. You are where you are, maybe because of the power of you having the support of the MLAs or having won the elections, but you are nothing if we are not there. At the end of the day, it's the central leadership which calls the shot. Do you agree with me on this? And why do you think this is so? Does it weaken the Congress party? Will it upset its game plan for the 2024? Because what really happens in the midst of all this, it definitely gives rise to infighting. We are seeing what is happening in Rajasthan. Does this infighting and this power struggle between the central and the state leaders end up weakening the Congress party? And will it have an impact on the 2024 Lok Sabha results? Thank you so much for watching, and thank you once again for your support to One Take and to our entire team. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank my entire team, because week after week they put up with my tantrums and my pressures, and what you get to see is largely because of their effort. Thank you so much for watching, and do give in your reactions on the social media timeline.